I completed every single challenge in Season of Plunder, and here's the breakdown on what it took. So what did it actually take to complete every objective in this season? Well, let's take a look, shall we? Let's go to the triumphs right away and just get the elephants out of the room. For quests, we had something like High Season, High Spirits, where I had to salute jabronis around me every time I completed a expedition or catch crash, and you needed 150 of them. Yeah, only 150. And then for expedition, we had this that used to be 50, and now it's 10. I'm going to cringe. And then we have multiple fronts, 250 champions in expedition. That is ruffians and saboteurs, both of which are complete RNG to spawn or can be extremely easily sabotaged by just not playing with two dedicated people who are trying to do the same thing. Oh my god, this triumph was literal hell. Let's collect it, shall we? Those aside, there also was a couple of other ones like flawless expeditions, flawless catch crashes, killing something in like 20 seconds, complete this objective, 15, 20 times, whatever. Nothing nearly as severe as the 250 champs or the 150 sleuths, just because of the fact that the game wasn't actively being sabotaged against you to get these things, which is the main gripe of this season/seal. If you don't know what I mean, basically, I'll give you a brief breakdown. In expeditions, there are ways where ruffians spawn, which is time-based/RNG based, and saboteurs, which are also straight up RNG based in the activity. Ruffians can spawn after 3.5 minutes, or just by RNG chance to get one while you're digging for treasure. You can get a total of 4 ruffians in one activity. If you're extremely, extremely lucky, it's very rare. And then you can get a saboteur every time you move your Roomba up the activity, which is 2 total, but again, it is rare to have them spawn in as well. So, you need to combine that with getting 250 of these things, and then 150 salutes, and it's hell. It's literal hell. So, let's take a look at how many activities I need to complete to actually get these done. So, as far as I know, there's no tracker for activity completed for some reason, like we had in the past with like Nightmare Containment. So, we'll have to go off of other things, such as for Cartographer, it says the number of total treasure chests opened via completed treasure maps during expedition, blah blah blah, is 130. So I guess that means I completed 130 expeditions. Only 130, guys. That's very small. You know what I mean? And then we have Pirate Scourge, which says the total number of bosses defeated during Season of Plunder and Catch Crash, Expedition, and Hideouts is 206. So let's pretend that we subtract 130 from this, and then we get 76. Subtract a couple of hideout bosses, let's say 70 flat. So 130 expeditions and 70 catch crashes to complete everything. And then just for bonus, Swashbuckler, we have 46,294 opponents defeated. And Umbral Collector, we have a total number of plundered Umbral Energy collected during Season of Plunder at 643. Now, I do want to make some things clear. I am definitely an advocate for having grindy things, difficult things in the game to grind for over a long period of time. I'm totally fine with that. I'm somebody that would love Reckoner seals in the game, or Reckoner-like seals in the game, where you actually have to put in effort to do certain objectives. Things that you just can't, like, turn your monitor off and just use one thumb and get it done, or things like that. So that's not my issue with this seal or these triumphs. I just think this was poorly done overall. Probably one of the worst seals/triumphs for a season we've had in the game, just because, again, you have to actively sabotage the seasonal activity the entire season, basically. We're 3 months in now, where if you didn't sabotage it, you were actually reverse sabotaging yourself because you wouldn't get the objectives that you're looking for to complete, i.e. ruffians and saboteurs. And then who's having a good time in that? You're getting screwed over, or your teammates are getting screwed over, unless you go in with a 3-stack into expeditions every single day and be like, alright guys, let's stand here for 3.5 minutes, hope this ruffian spawns, then move the ship, hope the saboteur spawns, then again wait for 3.5 minutes for a ruffian to spawn, then hope for another saboteur, and then put our fingers in our butts and repeat the process. Or if you're playing solo with 2 blueberries, you're going to be chucking like 300 million engrams into the ocean or into the abyss so that your teammates don't throw them at the Roomba to progress the activity, because if they do it too fast, ruffians don't spawn, and you, once again, can finger butt. And that just, you know, doesn't sound fun. I like grindy seals. I hope we get more grindy seals in the game, but this was definitely not it, along with the triumphs themselves. I mean, the fact that we got Ruffian's Nerf from 50 to 10 3 months into the season after a majority of, you know, seal collectors already got it done is just a feels bad, man, to say the least. Thankfully, you know, Bungie addressed the issue kind of on Twitter, basically saying, you know, they're going to be re-evaluating stuff like this going forward into future seasons to balance things out, to, you know, have competitiveness, have completions, have stuff for casual people. So hopefully that's a plus going forward. But other than that, I think this is probably the worst time I've had to complete all triumphs and a seal for a seasonal title anyway. Next season, hopefully we get something better, and I don't have to throw 800 engrams into the ocean when I'm playing with random people. That'd be great. Let me know what you guys think. Have you completed this seal slash triumphs for the season? If you're, you know, a triumph chaser or a completionist, whatever it may be. And you know, while we're on the subject, I might as well ask this: what seal do you guys have the most fondness towards in the game, and which one would you like to see more of in the game in terms of quality? For me, I'll go with Reckoner. If you've watched me for any extended amount of time, you know that Reckoner is my favorite seal for multiple reasons. Shout out to World's First or Day One, whatever it was, I don't remember anymore. But Reckoner had the perfect blend of difficulty, time investment, knowing how the mechanics work, knowing how the mode works. You have to play the invader role, you have to play the blocker role, the collector role, the PvE Reaper killer that just shreds through enemies, things like that. You have to invest properly into things to get them done. You also had the Gambit weapons dropping during the activity in Gambit Prime. If you did a certain objective, for example, if you banked 50 emotes, you got half baked. You got I believe it was spare rations, or at least a chance to get spare rations. Also, I realized I just said half baked instead of half bank. We're just gonna leave that in. Let's just go leave that in. But yeah, like, it had so many layers to it where you actually needed to pay attention to get things done. You didn't just, you know, go on cruise control and just, like, stare on your second monitor watching a movie while you just killed a bunch of dregs and eventually got rewarded for it. Then you have the Reckoner activity as well. I believe that was Reckoning, where, you know, you fought the Knights and the Shade of Oryx, all this other stuff, got certain weapons, certain gear to drop. You could run for a curated version of those weapons, like Gnawing Hunger or Spare Rations, blah, blah, blah. And most of the things that you did were towards the seal to do a certain thing. They weren't just all like a checkmark, like, you know, defeat 50 enemies in Reckoning, defeat 50 enemies in Gambit, get 20 invader kills, and then you're done. Like, no, it was like, you gotta drain the motes in the bank, you gotta kill X amount of blockers, you gotta kill them in a certain amount of time, you gotta bank 50 motes or do this and that in a single match. Like, you actually had to try, and once you got it done, you actually felt like you earned it, like you got rewarded for doing something. Hell, you even got a voice line from Drifter for completing the seal. I don't know, has that ever happened to any other seal in the game? I don't think it has. So, that's why I like Reckoner. That's why I want more seals to be in the game like Reckoner. I don't mean, like, you know, in Gambit specifically. I mean just all over in the game. Like, basing a raid seal off of it, for example. You know, do things in the raid. It's not just like, alright, do the raid once, do it on Master once, do each challenge once, you're done. That's it. You don't have to even do Flawless. Get out of here. You know? Alright, well, my rant's over. I'm sure this has gone on long enough. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what seal you want to see more of in the game. What's your favorite? Comment below. Also, stream daily on Twitch. You could find that in the description below. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.